doing a video today for Patriot in the Dark. He's put out a blind challenge. If any of you don't know who Patriot in the Dark is, he is a YouTube creator and one of the Gun Channel's guys, and he is completely blind, and he's asked people to do videos describing and disassembling pistols while blindfolded, so we get a better idea how to describe stuff for people that are visually challenged. So I asked on a live stream a couple of weeks ago what gun you guys wanted me to do, and you came up with a CZ75 because you guys don't like me. We're going to try and do this here. This is my CZ75 compact. It's a D model, which means it is the decocker only model. So we'll set everything up here and we'll see if we can get this thing apart and get it back together with a blindfold on. So enjoy. Okay, so we have our CZ75 right here. We have our blindfold right here. So let's put this on and we'll get started. If I can get it on there. Okay. So now I'm right-handed, so I'm going to take it in my right hand and we'll check it out here. Starting at the back of the firearm, you got the hammer here, then the rear sight, and then coming down the top you can feel it's got some grooves on the top of the slide where there's a flat spot, and then a front sight blade. Okay, sides are rounded over. You got some cocking serrations here just in front of the hammer on the sides of the slide. Now we're going to come down the back here and you can feel one lever sticking out, that's our decocker. In front of that there's a lever sticking out, that's our slide release. And then down right where my thumb falls, behind the trigger, is our mag release. So before we go any further, we're going to clear this pistol. So we're going to take our magazine out, set it off to the side here. Make sure it's gone. Now we're going to rack it a couple times. I'm going to push it back. We'll stick our finger in the chamber here. Nothing in the chamber. We'll release our slide. Okay. So now, below that you can feel the grips all the way down to the bottom of the gun. And there's a little stud sticking out here. That's actually a lanyard loop on this one. This is a surplus to police pistol. Alright, so takedown on this little guy is going to be a little bit difficult without being able to see. Normally, if you can see, I'm touching the decocker on the back here. There's a witness mark on the slide that you line up with a witness mark just under the decocker here. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but since we don't have the ability to see those, what we're going to do is lower our hammer, and if you pull back on it a little bit, you can feel, yep, that's where we want it. There is, if you pull the hammer on this, it goes all the way forward. There's actually a safety notch on it, so we want to put the hammer in that safety notch. Now we're going to put the muzzle of the gun on the bench and the bottom of the grip on the bench. And we're going to pull back on the slide by the rear sight slightly. So I'm going to put my thumb into the grip frame under the beaver tail and use my pointer finger to pull back on the slide. Now we're going to take our little tool here. I'm going to use the back of the screwdriver because this pin is in here tight. So where you see where the slide stop is on the left side of the gun, the other side of that bumps out on the right side of the gun. So we're going to pull back here on the slide until it just touches the hammer. And we're going to use the bottom of this to push. Oh, we're going to pull back just a little more. Just got to pull until you can feel it pop. Ruh-roh. There it goes. Do you hear that? And you can feel it hit on the other side. So now I switch hands and pull back, pull out our slide stop from the left side of the gun, and we'll set it up here above the magazine. Now, should be able to pull the slide right off the front of the frame. Now you'll notice the slides kind of seems thinner on this. That's because if you feel here, you can feel the slide on a CZ75 rides inside the frame rails, where most guns that you might be familiar with ride on the outside of the frame rails. If you feel the top of this frame and it's completely smooth, there's no groove. If you take your finger and run it inside the frame, you'll feel the groove where the slide rides. Same with the slide. You can feel a groove in the slide here where it rides. Okay, I'll set our frame off here, right up in front of us. Now you'll feel inside the slide here, come up, and you can feel where this link is here. You'll feel it. It's a piece of metal with a hole in the middle. That's where our slide release was through. Just in front of that, you'll feel the recoil spring on the guide rod. So I come down to the base of that, pull forward towards the front of the slide, and it should come out. Now hold on to it, because it will shoot across the room if you lose your grip on it. Okay, now we set our slide on the bench, pull up and to the rear with our barrel, and our barrel will come out the back. There we go. And that is field stripped. Okay, putting it back together, we're going to take our barrel, feel in the slide here, get it started. We're touching the top of the slide, push in, there. You can feel it locking the locking lugs on the top of the slide. Now, feel where that link is again, and you can start your recoil spring in just below the barrel. You want to push in until it's just in front of that. Oh, I gotta hold on to the slide a little better. There. And it's held in place right there. Squeeze it and make sure it's centered. Now this, I think, might be the difficult part. With the frame, best way I can see is to keep the slide turned upside down. And we're going to try and put the frame on this way, lining it up. So we're going to start, feel the grooves on the side of the slide, and bring the frame up until you get it into those grooves. There we go. Now the frame's back on. Now, the difficult part, we're going to put it again with the muzzle on the bench, and the bottom of the grip on the bench. We're going to pull the same way with our right hand. We're going to take our thumb, lock it into the beaver tail, and use our index finger or your pointer finger on your right hand now. Pull back till you hear it, feel the slide touch the hammer. Now you got to find where the hole is. On this slide you will feel there's a small hole right here, and there's a large square hole right here. The pin part of this slide stop goes through the small hole, and you'll feel underneath where the button part of the slide stop is, there's kind of a square spot. That goes in this hole. So pulling back, we're going to insert this into the frame of the gun. It should go in a little easier. And line it up, trying our best not to scratch it here. I think I got it. There it goes. You got to push a little hard. I think we got it. Now we'll check function. We'll rack it a couple times. Seems to be good. Pull the trigger. Yep. Check reset. Yep. Check our decocker. Feels like the hammer went down, so there we go. So that was the blind challenge disassembly of the CZ75D. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with the camera up here, but I'm going to try and flip it around here so you guys can see I am indeed blindfolded. So thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, support Patriot in the Dark channel, and I'll see everybody later as soon as I get this blindfold off. Thanks, guys.